So you're thinking about shooting to a different brokerage, and you're looking at these two different ones that seem to put agents first. We have this Keller Williams model as well as this eXp model. What are the differences between that? Well, in this video, we're going to go over in depth what the differences are between Keller Williams and eXp. So stick around. What's up, everybody? This is Tim Whittemore with the Whittemore Group here with eXp Realty up here on the beautiful panhandle of Florida. If this is your first time to our channel, we do tons and tons of videos about everything you need to know about being a new agent or going to a different brokerage as an experienced agent. I've personally been through it all. I've been the single agent, I've been the team agent, heck, I've been a operations manager and now a team lead for my own team here in Northwest Florida. Also been a realtor in separate states in New York and Ohio. So I've been there, I've seen the nuances between these, and I want to pass this on to you as not a hype, a no BS assessment of what's going on here. So without further ado, let's get into it right now. All right, so let's talk about Keller Williams and eXp. I'll be honest, when I first got into real estate and 2015, I was looking at Keller Williams and I was looking at them hard, right? And the reason is they've got this great culture just across the United States and now the world, and it's a really, really great story, and we like to follow stories. So let's talk about KW a little bit. Now, that was originally founded in 1983. I don't want to tell you how old I was. It was with Gary Keller and Joe Williams are the guys that started this. They were out in Austin, Texas. Now, in '85, they realized that they needed to start doing that profit share to retain agents because, well, the real estate goes in cycles, right? And it was getting a little rough out there. So they started to implement that. They started to grow. In 2010, they had 77,000 agents, and they were the second largest brokerage nationwide. Now today, here in 2021, they've got north of 160,000 agents. Actually, 10% of all homes sold in the North America are by KW agents. Pretty cool, huh? All right, so let's look a little bit about the history of eXp. It's a lot younger, all right? It was founded in 2009 by the team leader that was a prior Keller Williams guy, Glenn Sanford. He had taken a huge loss, remember in 2008 when we had that whole market crash? The guy had a whole bunch of different marketplaces across the nation, and because of all that overhead, like he was pretty much down and out. Like he didn't have much left. But whether to just leave the industry, he didn't decide to do that. He got a brokerage that just didn't have a whole lot of overhead from the brick and mortar. So we created this thing that was on the cloud, right? So it's out in cyberspace. So you don't have to do that. He loved the idea of the profit share and kind of created another version of this, which is revenue share, which is pretty cool. And in 2013, he took the company public. Which means that now the people that were working for them, that were the agents, actually had an equity program, aka stock in the company. Now, from 2016 to 19, they went from about 1,000 agents all the way up to 20,000 agents. Now, as of today, from the last conference that we just went to, they were north of 60,000 agents and growing. Now they're the second largest independent brokerage, according to Real Trends when we last looked at that. So let's talk about the business model between the two. They both have very similar philosophies where they actually put agents first. That way we take care of the agents, we take care of the business, right? So with Keller Williams, what do they really concentrate on? The thing that attracted me to Keller Williams initially was, well, all the other brokerages were like, I got the best training and guidance, all this other stuff. Everybody's got training, guys. But this one was particularly, it stood out. They have great training, education, and now as of 2021, they're trying to become a tech company with programs like Command CRM. They got that's Kelly, which is Kelle. And I thought that was kind of cool little knickknack as they were doing the voice activated AI assistant. How cool is that, right? And of course they have profit share. Now eXp, well, they also have training, but all of this is done virtually. And because most of the training that is done by Keller Williams are in their individual offices, it's a local experts that are there. Well, here with eXp, because of the cloud base, we have experts from all different types of market centers from everywhere. There's always about 50 hours of agent-led expert training that happens every single week. And all these trainings are recorded, so you also have more on demand whenever you get a free chance. So if you're trying to get out of your old job and get into another one, this is a great opportunity for you to build your own schedule to get it done. They do have awesome technology too, but instead of creating a tech company, they're just found the leaders in the industry and then just paid to use theirs. Seems pretty smart, right? They use from a company called Inside Real Estate. It's called KV Core, which is a phenomenal system that you get at a fraction of the price that you would normally cost. Now, even as a team lead, I'm paying so much less than I would as if I just bought it off the shelf. As a new agent, as of the date of this video, you get this system for $50 a month, when normally it would be $1,000 plus per month just for the same system that you're getting. Pretty amazing. Now, one other thing too, or a couple other things that you get with eXp is you also get the stock options as well as rev share. So we talked a lot about rev share, profit share. What's that even mean? Well, I'm going to tell you, essentially, each agent that onboards somebody with the company, which we call a sponsor, well, that sponsor gets a portion of the agent's production as they make sales. Of course, this is to a limit depending on whatever that works out to be, okay? So profit share, KW, profit share. Profit share is a little bit different because it uses regions or territories, or depending on how big that area is, it could just be a franchise location. Know that each office is its own franchise location. But profit is based on money after expenses of the region, after expenses of a territory, after expenses of a franchise location, right? So whatever's left over is what you end up getting as a certain portion of your production, right? Revenue share is quite a bit different. It's because eXp is an independent brokerage. You can have anybody. It doesn't have to be in one market center. It's nation and even heck worldwide as we're growing to more and more countries. It's based on money before expenses, right? And it's based off a bigger pot because, well, it's pretty much endless at this point as they continue putting brokerages in different places around the world. The nice part about this is that the money that's being taken from revenue share never comes out of the agent pocket that's making it in the downline, as you would say, right? It's actually taken from the company. So a little bit piecing forward, with eXp, you have an 80-20 split until you cap, which we'll talk about here in a minute. Once that 20% that goes to the company, that's where all of the rev share comes from. It never comes from the agent, which is super cool. And that's one of the things that can help you with rev share versus that profit share. Okay, so let's dig deeper into that. Let's talk about transactional fees and what it looks like between each company. So for Keller Williams, for the most part, just know that each office could be a little bit different since it's individually owned. For the most part, you start off at a 70-30 split, at 70 to you, 30 to the company. That's until you pay them, out of that 30%, $18,000. Now, depending on where you're going, it could range from $9,000, which is pretty sweet, all the way up to $42,000, depending on your location, right? Not only that, but like most brick and mortar, or what we'll call big box brokerages, as you probably heard me say before, they're a franchise. So they make sure that you have to spend and give them royalty fees every single transaction that you get. Now, in this case, you're going to pay them about 5 or 6% of a royalty fee on every single transaction until you've given them $3,000 worth of royalty fees, and then that disappears. You will also have to pay E&O, which is errors and omissions, which is somewhere between $40 to $75 per transaction. You also have a monthly fee, which could be anywhere between $60 to $80 per month. Let's talk a little bit more about eXp. Now, eXp starts at an 80-20 split. All right, and that's just if you're a single agent. If you're on a team, depending on the type of team, it may be a half or even a quarter cap of that. That's right, that's 8,000 or 4,000, but we'll get into that a little bit later. There's no royalty fees because there's no traditional brick and mortgage type of place anywhere that you have to pay a royalty fee for. You're going to have to pay a broker review fee for every transaction. Fortunately, you can't cap at this, but that's 25 bucks every single time that you have a transaction go through. You also have E&O insurance, which is going to be about $40 per transaction, and that caps at 500, and then it's gone. All right, so when you do cap, you do have to pay a capping fee as well with eXp, which is $250 per transaction, and that's only up to 5,000. Once you hit that 5,000 that you've given them, then it drops down to 75. Now, we also have a monthly fee here too. It's a technology fee as well as your CRM and university fee. All that goes up to about $80 per month across the board. And if you want some more detail about these exact fees, reach out to me or reach out to our team here and ask us for an ICA, which is an independent contract agreement. We'll be able to give you a sample of that so you can take a peek at it. Okay, so we also have in each brokerage mentor program. Now, KW, this is how it normally goes. New agents, this is how it normally goes. New agents are on a 60-40 split when they first get into the brokerage. Now, as a brand new agent in different states, that's typically every single brokerage told us that. Now in KW, it was 60-40 until you hit your first million worth of sales volume. But just know that it's not a 60-40 because you are paying that franchise fee. So in all reality, it's 54-46, right? Okay. eXp, well, they don't do anything like that. You're still at an 80-20, but you're going to get assigned a local mentor. I myself am a mentor for this area, and that mentor will help you get through most of your training. It'll help you through your first 3 transactions and make sure everything's good to go, give you some direction there. And they're only going to take, at least at the time of this recording, it was only 10% of whatever commission that was that your mentor was going to get. Good news too is if you end up getting onto a team or something like that, then you get everything. Like on our team here, we have a 90-day proprietary boot camp that we put our people through. It's a self-paced boot camp program where they get to learn everything they need to know and have access to me and our trainers here on our team to make sure that they get up and running as quickly as they can. So within 3 months, they're rocking and rolling. So 90-day boot camp. But other different teams will offer different things. And even if you're going to come on as a single agent and you want, say, me as your mentor, if you sign up under us because of the rev share opportunities, we do share a version of that 90-day boot camp as well. So let me know if that's a thing. Shameless plug. All right. Let's talk about that training. So training with KW is one of the things I absolutely loved about this company. I have raked in the knowledge that they put out. What we call MREA, or Millionaire Real Estate Agent, was a book that I read once or twice a year. And every single time I learned something a little bit different. This was written at the beginning of the 2000s where this came out, and it finally had, hey, this is how real estate's going and how to build out a team or just how to build out a business yourself. But they have tons and tons of training that are pretty relevant. You have Ignite. That's, I would call their 90-day boot camp system, but it is 90 days of in-person. There's a lot of in-person interaction that you can go to, and that's all for new agents. You also have MAPS training, where it's going to essentially map out your career and how to get better with that. Bold is another big one. It's how to get through prospecting and doing all these things to boldly go forward and hit all your prospecting goals. They also have other trainings like Breakthrough, all these other add-ons. Now, know that you're probably going to have to pay a small fee for certain types of these trainings, but in my experience and what I've lived vicariously through other agents, it's totally worth every penny, providing that you put the effort in. All right, eXp, again, as we had mentioned before, has 50 hours of live training every single week. There's also programs if you're a brand new agent through MindFlash to get you up to date on what you need to do in order to be an agent, all the basic things so you can get out there and start closing deals. Okay, so maybe you're not a brand new agent. Maybe you're coming on and still trying to figure out between the two, hey, I got a team or I want to grow a team. What are the differences here? So let's talk about KW. KW has some really interesting things with their team splits. So as of now, the team lead starts, it's all on the team lead. So the team lead starts at $18,000, right? As that team lead, he or she adds more agents on, that cap, to be 100% capped, adds another $4,500 on top of that 18, right? For every single member. Now, all production is going to go through that team lead at a 70-30 until it caps, which is pretty awesome because once you're 100%, at that point, you get it for the rest of your anniversary year there. Now, team leads can set any split that they want before and after the cap. I think that's the really cool thing about a Keller Williams team, which I really kind of like, is because you can do whatever the heck you want, right? And your other agents aren't paying a cap, like up to a cap to for 100% because, well, you're kind of controlling it as a team lead. The only problem is that if you're a team lead and you don't put A players onto your team, then that's just another $4,500 worth of the 70-30, the 30% that you're putting in, that you have to put in to make up for that dead weight on your team. And I don't like to call them dead weight because a lot of these people that come on here, you know, they're trying to transition from one job to another or whatever. It just adds that extra layer of stress. I kind of like it, having a military background of, hey, you know, sink or swim. But I also like to kind of play the long shots here too, because you never know what just a little extra push and a little extra time can do for some people. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about eXp's teams. eXp has 4 different types of teams, not just the one. So stay with me. The first one's a self-organized team. Self-organized team is where you have all team members that are on there and they basically have one leader, and that leader just pretty much is like a referral agent. There's no difference, really. You have a $16,000 cap. You can get icon status, which we'll talk about here in a minute. Still have stock options, still have rev share. You're pretty much your same old agent, except the team lead may be giving whatever else out and then taking a split of your normal commission. So it's pretty much like a partnership where one person's giving you something for a referral fee. Okay. Number 2 is a standard team. That's what I personally operate at this time. It's where you have all your team members on here, and your team members now only have to pay a half cap, right? So they only have to pay eXp $8,000 before they cap. Now that's awesome because for new agents, for agents trying to build momentum and trying to be production based, you know, you need that extra help to go forward, and you don't have to worry about, hey, you know, am I going to cap? Am I going to be able to get this money back? Not only that, but it's really, really good because most team members are going to get for leads that were given to them at a 50-50 split. So you get half cap, 50-50. The math kind of works itself out. Now know that the team lead still has to pay $16K into eXp before they are capped. Just know that all the team members, regardless of what goes on, the most that your team lead can give you is a 75-25 split where 25 goes back to the team lead. All right. Now, agents aren't eligible for icon status. The team agents aren't. But again, they're getting that half cap, but they still also can still get the stock options as well as the revenue share program. Now, other things that we have is a mega icon team. If you're considering that, now team agents only have to pay $4,000 before they cap. This is a little bit more interesting and more intricate. So if you want more details, I'll give you more of those. You just got to simply reach out to me. But the team lead must make at least 40 mil in sales volume. They have to do at least 175 transactions per year. And they have to have 10 capping team members in the previous 12 months in order to be eligible for the mega icon team. And of course, the last but not least is a domestic team. This is mostly married couples. They work pretty much as one agent. So you just have two people that are all collectively working for the one agent thing, which is $16,000 cap, right? And you still have the same track for icon status for both people on there. Same thing for rev share and your stock options too. As of the date of this video as well, you can get into eXp. You get stock. The stock option I mentioned was that when you go ahead and close on a transaction, you get 5% of whatever that is. They'll take it out and give it to you in stock at a 10% discount. At least that's the current one that we're doing right now. And as long as the stock stays 1-to-1, that's awesome. It's been doing a lot better than that. All right, one last thing, since we are a team here at eXp, I want to share a couple of eXp extras that they do have. Now, they do have a retirement plan, essentially. What are you going to do when you can't do sales anymore? You can't get up and go around, right? We have the stock. The stock is publicly traded on NASDAQ. So stock is stock, right? Who knows what it's going to do? Past performance isn't indicative of future performance. They always say that. But then again, you probably have a portfolio already, right? And we never know what's going to happen with that. But it's nice to have a nice little nest egg for yourself as you go through and essentially save for the future. The other cool thing is this rev share. Once you stop doing real estate sales, you'll still get rev share, providing the people below you continue to stay in real estate. Now, there's a whole other video I have there where you can research what rev share is all about. But just know, as long as you have qualifying agents below you, that you'll continue to get paid year after year as long as you keep your license active. Not only that, but this passive income that continues to come in. If you decide, well, you don't get to decide, but when inevitably you do pass away and this income's still rolling in, this rev share income is willable. Is willable, meaning that you can give it to somebody after you pass, providing that that person ends up getting the real estate license, which I believe is in 18 months within the time that is given to them. Not only that, we also have the icon program, right? So as long as you get at least 80,000 in GCI and you have 5,000 in cap transactions fees, you are eligible for icon status. Now, you're already doing real estate at a high level and you've already paid eXp $16,000 just in your regular fees. Well, if you become icon, then you get that $16,000 back. That's right, you get it back. And the only thing that you had paid into eXp was that 5,000. That 16,000 goes back to you in stock. So that stock continues to grow at an exponential rate, or however it's going. And it just continues to snowball as you continue to build your wealth. Well, that's all I have for you for the differences between Keller Williams and eXp Realty. Both great programs, regardless of which one you choose. I think you'll still be successful. But if you have any questions about anything I mentioned here, please feel free to reach out to me. You can give me a call, text, email, find me on social media, LinkedIn, whatever it is. And if you are ready to get going, and you want to go ahead and get with eXp, you want me as your mentor, I'd love to talk to you first. But if you're ready to go ahead and hit the go button, you can go to the beginning of this page, go on to join now and fill out that information and get going today. So again, I'm Tim Whittemore with the Whittemore Group here with eXp Realty. We'll see you in our next video. Take care.